Thank you so much. This is Mellenium Culture, your first and only business breakfast show in the country. We pride ourselves in such. Now, straight into comedy. There's one man is known as Kazungo Emmanuel Ndea. Strange name, right? Yes. Known to you and I as Ken Dumbo, all the way from Solomon compound in Kafue. Now, welcome to Mellenium Culture. It's good to have you.
It feels great to be here. First time to be here, and I'm feeling at home right now. By the way, before I even go any further, thank you so much for representing us very well as men. We love your sentiments on Valentine's Day on what women should buy for us as men. And thank you so much for representing Smaz. We appreciate you, and we are watching what you're doing.
This is not
very
a bribe,
soon.
No,
it's not a bribe. It's not It's not Blarizo.
It's not Blarizo.
No, we are just appreciating your work. So women out there, we are waiting for your presence.
Yes, yes. Let's get our men something. You know, let's get our men something.
Awesome,
Valentine's
awesome.
is
Indeed, comedy is in you, truly. Now, the first thing is that I remember when I was young, people used to mock me. They used to call me Bamuvi, like meaning yes. So I was like this. So now the opposite of Bamuvi. Ken Dumbo, someone would expect, you know.
Yeah.
But where's the gap?
Where's the Dumbo?
That was exactly the idea. You know, I wanted a situation where when somebody meets me and I tell them I'm Ken Dumbo, they're like, what? We expected somebody big. But again, it's also a situation of some ladies being beauty by name, but in reality, they're not beautiful.
Oh, wow.
You get my point. Yeah, but getting back to where it comes from, in 2015, 2016, I was doing a show called the Kunakwa Breakfast Show on Hon FM, where I would meet street kids every Sunday. So would, you know, just have fun with them, eat with them, and then one day we grouped them and share them, like there were quite a number of them. So we got maybe four each. And then coincidentally, I was given a group of big kids, Voyina, Mas Dumbo. So the other group started laughing at my group and said, "It's a group near Dumbo, Veka Veka." And then the other group is like, but what did that so Voyina, Nivoyonda. Then the other one is like, okay, Dumbo Voyonda. So it started from there. Dumbo Voyonda. And even after we left that day, my friends whom we were interacting with the kids with, started calling me Dumbo Yonda. And on radio, I used to use the name DJ Kenstar. So because there was a collision in the names, some people thought I was K-Star.
Yeah, K-Star, yeah.
So I removed the star and decided to put the Dumbo. I know I'm not a Dumbo, but I think this works out. So I started calling myself Ken Dumbo. So it started from there. And today it has grown into a brand.
Great. Now, I know you are a professionally trained journalist.
Yes.
You've worked with international organizations like Child Fund. You've worked for Pan-African Radio. I'm a journalist, yeah, but now comedy and your professional training, where did it come from?
I think what I do today has everything to do with journalism. Yeah, I shoot my own videos. I was trained in journalism. What I mostly talk about are issues that either inform, educate, or entertain the people out there, which are the main objectives of journalism. So that is also part of journalism. But the main reason why I joined comedy was because I wanted to make money. I was tired of going for events and hoping that somebody's going to give me a blalizo, which the president has said we should not actually be, you know, engaging ourselves in those. So it was a situation where I worked for various media organizations. And you would see that you're putting in a lot, but there is really nothing much that is coming in. But the moment you get done with school, you graduate, they even see the gown. You become a breadwinner. But you know, they expect so much from you. So it became kind of tough for me, you know, to just tell people that you know what, I'm not working, I don't have money. Because at the end they take a phone, no, your young brother here, no, we are lacking this here, we need you. But then you also genuinely don't have. So I thought giving people an excuse of saying I don't have, would not make sense. Let me just use what I have, you know, and see where it takes me. And yeah, I tried to start making short videos where I would talk about real stuff, but in a joking way. But at the end of the day, people saw something in me and said, I think you're too funny. There's a wedding, Pakatapa. Would love you to come through. No, we have this function. How much do you charge? And for me, that was a dream come true.
Great. I know people struggle to make ends meet. What I want to focus on is comedy as a business. Yes. Now, people struggle. You a professionally trained person, I thought you'd make money there as a journalist than comedy. We know a lot of comedians in Zambia that are not really making so much as compared to journalists like Constance and I. You mean you couldn't make money as a journalist? Because you've said that the reason is because you didn't want Bralizo, that's why you switched to comedy.
Okay, so there's this aspect of having 2 years, 3 years, 5 years experience every time when you graduate from college and you're looking for a job. So it's not that I never found jobs. I found jobs in the media industry, but every time I found a job, it was either you have to work for 3 months and, you know, for free and experience. I don't want to kind of experience in that. You know, it was all those things. I think the time we were in school, we went for attachments, and it was to gain experience why we went there. So I worked for radio stations, I went for TV stations, but at the end of the day, if they give you a salary, then it is only something that you can only use for transport. It cannot even pay for your rent. So I felt like as much as I was so passionate about journalism, I wasn't really making much, you get my point. But I knew that there was, in fact, my motivation was, one time I'm in this person's office, they host events, and they receive a call in my presence, and then they are telling the client, oh, what time is the event? Oh, so it will be for 3 hours. Okay, so 3 hours, it will be 5,000.
That's what you would make even the whole month.
So just 3 hours, 5,000, and the person that called is like, no, we only have a 3,500. Then he's like, no, that's just for my for fuel. So if you don't have a 5,000, then I can't come. You need to look for somebody else. I'm like, in a 3,500 na meza zabwino hapa. So I was like, okay, I think if I just brand myself very well, I have what this guy has. Probably I can even do better. Only that I do not have a name out there. So how do I build on my name? That's why I started, you know, working on building my name, showing people what I'm capable of doing. And I thank God that with time, the results show.
Most comedians struggle to make money with comedy. What do you think are some of the reasons that cause that?
First and foremost, you need to understand who you are. And I know most people think comedy is just about waking up and say, at the end of the day, as much as you are funny, for you to be respected in the industry, for people to respect your art, you need some form of education. Yeah, and I think for different arts, that's one thing that we look down upon. People think, as long as naningaimbe, so nkwenda chemu studio, and as long as you have a host voice like my friends from the Copa. But at the end of the day, you need some form of education, and only if you understand, you know, how the industry works, it will really help. So I feel like most people, one, do not really make money because they do not understand how the industry works. Then they do not have objectives as they come in the industry. Somebody will just, you know, do a video today, they post it on social media, then it goes viral. Tomorrow they're like, I think I'm a comedian and stuff. And I think we have a lot today. We even have politicians that have joined us in the comedy industry because maybe they just want numbers. I've received messages of people who are telling me, no, I can't do but famous. So if really that is your objective, then you will not make money. You will be famous for 2, 3, 4 days. The next thing, you have no idea, you have no content to put out there, so people are not going to take you serious. So there is some a need for some level of education, and then you also need to understand your objective. Why are you doing what you're doing? That's why we have people ending up insulting people, thinking they're joking, yet they are, you know, attacking people. So I think some form of education and understanding what you really want to do.
You talked about branding. You said it was very important for you to brand yourself. When you say branding yourself, what exactly did that entail?
Okay, so it starts from people getting to know what I'm capable of doing. So before I became the Ken Dumbo that people know I am today, I knew that I would want host events as early as I was in grade 6. What used to happen was I was, you know, hosting different events, you know, child youth forum, youth day in church. If there's a church program for the youth that day or for the children, I would be there, you know, as the director of programs. So the time I realized that, you know what, it's hard for me to get a job, but there are people that are earning 5,000 just to host an event for 3 hours. I think I can also do this. So that was one thing I wanted people to know, that this is what I was capable of doing. 2, I just wanted my name to be out there, but how should people know me? They should know me as a professional person. Yes, there are a lot of comedians out there, but I wanted to also come on a professional point of view, such that I'm not only hired for World AIDS Day or Youth Day, I should also be hired by a corporate, company. One day, this company should wake up and say, "Oh, we have, we're meeting our clients as a bank, or we are meeting these clients as a service provider. We want you to come and host our event." I just wanted that. I didn't want to limit myself to one specific type of, business. I wanted to host as many events as possible. Yeah. And it really worked out.
Okay, so now I'm thinking of a person who's out there watching and thinking, I want to be a comedian, but doesn't know how to go about getting their name known or making a brand. So that is like what I'm asking. How do you actually go about it? Like, how do you get people to start calling you to hire you for events?
So I know a lot of people think it's something that happens just, but it takes a lot of time. I'll tell you that I started doing my videos, for example, because I've been doing social media videos from as early as 2017. And at that time, I had told myself, I really want people to know that I can do this. 2017, I did not get any events. I did not get any functions. My numbers on Facebook, yes, were increasing, but I did not get any business. 2018, yeah, I started getting events, but not really that much. So people need to understand that there's a process to everything.
Okay.
You can't just do a video today, or you can't just make a funny video today and then expect people to call you right there and then. They want to see some consistency in you. So one, you need to be consistent. Then you need to do a lot of research, even in the comedies that you are doing. Don't just do comedy because you want to make people laugh. At the end of the day, ask yourself, with this video that I'm doing or with this comedy that I'm doing, what do I want to take out there? What do I want to teach people out there? When people realize that, okay, this guy sounds funny, but I think from whatever videos or from whatever content that he brings out, he tries to communicate something. There's always something that people are going to see.
Great. So many clips about you, so many videos. I want to play one of them as we go on a short break. We'll be right back. For now, let's enjoy some comedy from Ken Dumbo.
I'm here at my shop. HB1. I'm advertising my business.
Vitu vyote vikali viko hapa, vinapatikana hapa. Kiba Fashion. Ukija Komesa ulizia Kiba Fashion unampata Komesa.
Bintu batu muno nbochipa maningi. Mosayope atia just because Komesa even the shop itself is not all that whereby somebody can be scared. No, bintu vili affordable muno. Mwima dresses, mwima sketi. Paima minimo, paima longu, paima dresses, paima jumpsuits, paima babies, the other side.
We are found in Komesa Market, opposite Komesa Police Post. This is Kiba Fashions wear. Come through, come on.
You are watching Mellenium TV. We mean business.
I'm here.
As we approach Valentine's, which falls every 14th of February every year, this year 2020, we as men in Zambia have agreed that every woman out there deserves a bouquet of flowers. We've also agreed that every woman out there deserves a bar of chocolate. We've also agreed that every woman out there deserves some nice smelling perfume. We've also agreed that every woman out there deserves some 500 kwacha worth of airtime. We've also agreed that every woman out there deserves some special dinner. We have finally agreed as men that all these expenses will be paid for by their brothers and fathers. Do not trouble your boyfriends. Thank you.
I love that. All expenses paid for. You have a brother, you have a father. Don't spoil, don't plunder another man's child's resources. Constance, let's use the right strategy.
I'm sure you have a brother or uncle out there who can do something for you.
That 500 kwacha Thank you, sir. You know, we even make you a regular here because you are speaking our interests.
No, that can work. Eh? That can work. But what is also going to happen is your presence also should be provided by your sisters and your mothers.
May I have my 51?
Now, your type of videos, that comedy, has some political connotation. You address some issues affecting the Zambians with a comic touch. Is that a personal decision? Do you have political intentions, or it's just your stance?
I believe comedy is a depiction of reality. It's a depiction of what people are going through. It's a depiction of what people are actually going through on the ground. And that's why most people laugh when you do something that they have experienced. It's because they have seen it. I don't like the idea of us Zambians saying, stick to your lane, don't engage yourselves in politics. I mean, when a politician wants my vote, they come to kneel for me. I'll be your servant when you vote for me. But if I have something that I want to address to that same politician that came to seek for my vote, it is a problem. When a comedian from outside, I'll give an example of one of my role models, Trevor Noah, does politics. Have you seen how he handles politics? But when a Zambian politician, a comedian talks about politics, then they are affiliated to a certain political party or organization. I really don't get it. But I think, like I said, I'm not just a comedian. At the end of the day, I'm a journalist. And every time I want to put out a message there, I always want to entertain, inform, and educate. And in everything that I do, I'll always carry that with me. So the fact that I do some political comedies at some point, it's just that I want to communicate something out there. I want a certain minister or a certain, councillor out there to know that, what, we have noticed that there is something that is not right, and they should not think we are just ignoring it. They need to know that we are aware of what is happening. And at the end of the day, come on, it's enshrined in the Constitution. Whether I'm a comedian or not, I have the right to express myself on certain things.
Now, how is the comedy industry appreciated by the government in our nation, and which areas would you feel the government should support to improve the comedy industry in Zambia?
All right, a lot hasn't been done to appreciate the comedy industry, just like other arts. And I think it has been a complaint by most artists, musicians, actors, actresses, that I think there is need for government to come in. Yes, we're not saying they haven't done much. I've personally benefited from the government. I've been invited to host certain functions, under the government. Just last year, March, I hosted the biggest event of my life, where the president was actually guest of honor, which was the National Youth Forum. It was a rare privilege for me. But I think there's a lot that has to be done, especially to empower the arts. I'll tell you the truth, no one is going to celebrate our artists if we do not celebrate them ourselves. Trevor Noah was once a household name in South Africa, but today he's a global name because he's hosting one of the biggest shows in the world. So I think there is need for the arts industry, not just the comedy industry, but the arts industry to be empowered. And by empowering, I would advocate that maybe whoever wins the elections, if President Lungu wins again, or whoever is going to win, or even whoever is going to win the opposition, please, as you come in as president after 12th of August 2021, consider having a Ministry of Entertainment, because that is the only way we are going to benefit.
We have the National Arts Council. I thought that's an arm of government that helps.
Yes, we have the National Arts Council, which actually just sits on the meetings or the table of Ministry of Tourism and Arts. So you notice that mostly the arts industry does not benefit. What benefits is the Ministry of Tourism. But imagine if we had a separate and independent ministry that strictly looks at issues of entertainment. It means, one, the interests of the musicians are going to be addressed. The interests of the film actors and actresses are going to be addressed. The interests of the comedians are going to be addressed. So personally, I feel like it is only when we have an independent ministry that we're going to benefit so much. And also, it's just a request to the people that are in charge, as you decide to empower the artists, because there are a lot of empowerment funds that have been coming out recently. As you decide to empower people, do not look at people that are maybe affiliated to the ruling party, let's be impartial, okay? Let's look at who needs this. I've seen a lot of people that have benefited from the empowerment funds who are already established, yet there are people that are not established out there, but they are very talented and there's nothing that has happened. Then let's also just have deliberate policies where, we have segments on national televisions that, help these artists benefit. It's so painful that, most public-owned TV stations or radio stations want content for free from the artists that are just growing. Then how do we expect these artists to grow? My bus, people will be laughing at me and say, guys, but I'm a bus. But where do you expect me to get the money? I'm putting out content out there. It's going out for free. So I think there should be policies where certain things, the government just says, okay, you know what? If you are to get content from these artists, this is the minimum you can pay for it.
Now, I saw you hosting a program, a comedy show on ZNBC, TV2, and it moved to Zambezi Magic. Tell us about that. That was a big stride on your part.
Okay, so I was privileged to host a comedy show on ZNBC, which I really appreciate, and it goes in my life as one of my biggest achievements, because the time I decided to be a journalist in grade 6, I just said, I just want to be on TV, and my dream came true. But I was not just limited to stick to the national broadcaster. I was also given options to also do other things. So when Zambezi Magic came through to say they wanted me to host one of the segment, Nkani Ampali, and yeah, there was an offer to it, and we need money at the end of the day, so I received that because they gave me an idea of how they wanted it to look, because they saw what I was doing on my social media platform, so they wanted me to attach one of the things that I used to do to their program, and I think it really worked out very well, and it was a great experience.
Great. Now, two last questions before we let you go. Number one, first of all, I would want to find out, I know, is that comedy or not? The Malawian lady, is that comedy or not?
It's not.
Okay, so you're dating?
I'm in love.
You're in love, Jesus.
Oh, Valentine's. That Valentine's.
All the way from Malawi.
All the way from
Why? I know ladies, Constance is around, there are a lot of ladies. Why go to Malawi, sir?
No.
I thought it was comedy.
No, it's not comedy. You see, sometimes we don't need to be selfish. I thought we need to, work on our bilateral relations very well with Malawi. They are our brothers.
No, yes, we understand that.
Some people call it Chipata Extension or Eastern Province Extension. But to me, it means more than that. It means a home that I found love in. And so, I hope she's watching.
Yeah. When any plans on marrying soon?
Yeah, plans are there. We'll be marrying soon.
This year?
She was supposed to come. We were supposed to do something before Valentine's. In fact, today is what, 13th, right? Yeah, we're supposed to have something today, but because of obviously COVID issues and stuff, that couldn't happen. But she'll hopefully come. We are still waiting on our elders to just come up with a date on when we can formalize things and just go and pay salam and everything. Nice. But it is done.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Lastly, a big win again for you. You are hosting a breakfast show on Kwitu FM. Tell us about that.
Wow, great experience again. But they're just part of you and you cannot run away from them. So I remember after I decided to say, okay, for now, media industry, hold on. But, there were times I would be bored, Yes, my weekends would be busy. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you're out there doing events. But Monday to Friday, you're seated at home and you're like, okay, I wish I could do something. So luckily, grateful to my boss, Muka, who actually gave me an opportunity to come back on radio after about 3 to 4 years of not being on radio. And it's really working out very well. I feel at home. As the motto is for the radio station. I've had experiences meeting different politicians. So some politicians walk in the studio and they find me like, and I'm like, a boss in comedy. But it's a good experience. I love what I'm doing and I think I'm at home.
Great. Thank you so much for coming through Mellenium Kwacha. Hoping to have you again.
Thank you so much for hosting me again. Grateful to the people that are watching out there. Support local content, support local television. And most importantly, support local artists.
Great. We're talking to Emmanuel Kazungu Ndea, known to you and I as Ken Dumbo, sharing with us comedy as a business. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be right back shortly. We take a break.